Hi, welcome to another edition of Embracing Silver Life. Today we're camping. First camping trip of 2024 for us. And so one of the things that came up in my mind was the hot water systems that campers have. We happen to have a tankless hot water system. I know a lot of people have questions about tankless or the tank system, which is better, which is worse. I can't tell you which is better or worse. I'm going to tell you the advantages that I know of the tankless. Also, I'm going to go over the disadvantages of it, and you can kind of make your mind up based on the type of camping you do. So, here we go. All right, so there's not a lot of difference physically between the two. They all fit in the same hole, except one of them has a hot water tank that's constantly heating. The other one heats on demand. And a lot of people call them instant heat hot water systems. They are not instant at all. They do come on pretty quick, but the thermostat is right here. So I'm going to bump that up there. So here's the advantages and disadvantages. So the nice thing is you get to set the temperature that you want for your hot water. And as you can see, it's right there, 121. This is basically what I take a shower at. And what you want to do with these is make sure that the temperature that you pick that you're going to use, whether it's for hot water or washing dishes or whatever, is going to be 100% of what you want to shower with. So it's going to take a little time for you to figure that out. But why you want to do that is because these work on water flow. And when you get to a campground, a lot of times the water is not going to flow very hard, especially under a lot of demand from other campers. You don't get a lot of volume going through there. So the problem is the tank needs to see volume in order to go. So I'm going to get over here. We're going to turn on hot water. You will see this come on. So it knows that there is hot water going. So now you can see the flame is on. The right hand thing says that the water is flowing. The left hand shows you that the tank fan is running. So now we're getting up the temperature here. And you can see how long this takes. Now here's the problem with hot water coming out of the tankless system. It now says it's up to temperature, but if we go over to our sink, it's just now getting warm. So it's going to take a good 15 to 20 seconds, maybe even 30 seconds or so, before that comes up to the right temperature. Now that may not seem like a lot of time, but if you're in the shower and for some reason it stops sensing water flow, it goes cold on you. And that happened this morning to me because there wasn't enough water flowing out of the hot water in the shower. So it thought the system's not running because there's not enough water flowing through it. So all of a sudden, I'm taking a very cold shower. I turn on the sink a little bit, get a little bit more hot water flowing in the trailer, and so it starts up again. However, now I've got about 30 seconds of ice cold water coming in there before it's back up to temperature again. That's really the number one big problem that I have with the tankless water system. The other issues, when you're running all that cold water, if you're somebody that does boondocking, out in the wilderness, you're not hooked up to a water supply, you're going to be sending a lot of water down into your gray tank. Now, I know if you look on YouTube, you're going to find people that deal with this by saving the water. They'll put a tank or maybe a big pot and they'll keep the water and then they can use it for dishes. So we're not boondockers. We haven't done it yet. So there are ways to save that water. But the problem is if you're not one, you're going to be throwing a lot of it down the tank. Now, if you're hooked up to a water system, it's not that big of a deal. So, you're not pulling it out of your tank and all that stuff. So it's really not that much of a problem. The big deal is when you lose enough water volume that it's coming out of the, it's going to shut down on you. So that's the biggie for me. I did forget to do one thing in telling you that there is one quick way to get around the low pressure system, and that is to fill up your freshwater tank, at least a couple, maybe 2/3 full. And if you're having issues with the tankless system flow and you're on camp water, then by filling up your tank and going to a pump, you should have all the pressure you need. So that's kind of a workaround. Okay, so disadvantages and advantages of the tank system now. The tank system has about a 6 to 10 gallon tank. It heats that water up, it keeps it at temperature, so you're always going to be heating that water. It's going to stay hot, which is nice. You turn on the hot water. It doesn't matter if, how much is flowing through there, a little or a lot, you're going to get hot water coming out of your sink. If you happen to lose volume, not a big deal. It's still coming out. So that's the nice thing. Disadvantage is hot water tanks keep the temperature. I think it's around 140. I don't know for sure. They really don't have. You can't set the temperature you want them to be, and so the problem is then it's if you turn on the hot, a lot of times you're going to get burned too, because it is hot. So that's the disadvantage and the advantage of the hot water system. Oh, the other thing is that you can run out of hot water. So if you've got a couple people, maybe a family trying to get through showers, you're going to have to wait in between or else take very, very short showers. The advantage of the tankless is once you get that water hot, you can stay in there all day. It's always going to be hot water, which is another thing I really love. So you can see the advantages and disadvantages of both. We really like going with the tankless system, and we'll probably always have that because we do like to take longer showers when we're traveling. The other side of that is we're not burning up gas while we're traveling trying to keep that water hot, so that's nice too. But it's not for everybody. Like I say, if you're out boondocking, tank is probably going to be a little bit better for you. But again, there's people on YouTube that can show you how to save the water so that you're not losing it, and go from there. So I hope you learned something from this, and take care, and we'll see you again next time on Embracing Silver Life.